All right, this is Andy with WealthyFantasyFootball.com. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the wildcard weekends in terms of fantasy. Specifically, this is entailing advice and help for the wildcard weekend on FanDuel. So that's on the FanDuel site. And so what you can easily do is consider now sleepers, which are low cost but yet productive players. And this optimizes for some of the best options that we can take a look at. So what you know a lot of times do look for value plays if you're familiar with or played fantasy football at all is looking to try to recognize players at a good value who are in a position of starting and carrying more workload. So what I was doing was trying to confirm some of this over in the Atlanta Falcons depth chart over at ourlads.com, seeing how this may play out, throughout the week and everything. But showing Sanu and Julio Jones as starting wide receivers. But Taylor Gabriel, I know he had some injury trouble, so I'll monitor him throughout the week. I know Justin Hardy got a big play of a reception, and so these are the type of things that you look at when teams know defenses put their best strategy out there on the line. There's no tomorrow, and the mentality of coaches is what I look at and consider when I'm trying to look at these plays here. And so when you look at sleepers, so this team in particular for the Falcons, you can do this with every team if you want, if you have time, of course. Tevin Coleman. We have Austin Hooper, Sanu, who we saw real quick to mention. And when you look at the matchup here, the defensive rank is 10th best. So that means the Rams are 10th best versus the wide receivers throughout the year. So they do a pretty good job of handling in terms of yardage and touchdowns, I'm sure, against wide receivers. And the total defense is 14th ranked, which is good, right about mid-range on total, defense. Now, let's see how that works in terms of Tevin Coleman's workload as you can see a discrepancy that the Rams allow a lot more yards normally, to running backs than they do for whatever reasons. Playing in that division, they have some guys that I don't see why they did this, but a lot of yards to Arizona running backs, a lot of yards to. So just thinking about all these scenarios, I'm trying to think of the other, the 49ers running backs in that division, as well as just trying to think of the other team, the Seahawks, which it's not a strong division for running backs. So I don't know, why that is, exactly why the numbers are what they are. So when you look at Coleman as well as Devontae Freeman, they're in for some big days. And if they can do what they normally do, which is shut down or at least, slow down, as many teams focus on, is well known in the NFL, the maybe top two receivers, then that's where we look at this great sleeper option right here with either, getting back to that page, Hardy or Gabriel if he's perhaps able to play. I haven't checked, the update for that, but that's what it is. So Marvin Hall, he had a very big, massive touchdown play earlier in the year, but he's not high enough on the depth chart right now to be considered. And so Freeman and Coleman, of course, they're, a split backfield, which goes very well to create some value if you're looking for, the Falcons to beat, if you believe that and, look to that. I'd like to see the lines. I'll just look at that here briefly with you on Roto Grinders to give ourselves an additional idea of what is expected in the NFL odds out of this game. Let's see, where's our money line? Here we go. So we got the Rams expected to win by 6.5 points. That's not bad. The projected point totals over under is actually expected to be right in, yeah, really the highest scoring game, 40.5 points. So I'm not worried about the Falcons scoring enough points. They'll find a way to score points even if they lose. So I'm not overly concerned about that. Plus, no player you really in the NFL that you really get a win for more points in the W column under your fantasy stats unless you're playing like baseball or a goalie in hockey, so something like that. So you're not, you know, overly concerned like some people would be. All right, so those are my tips and helping you to find sleepers because you got to find some low cost options on FanDuel that are under 6,500. So providing the link, this is where I'll help you to find this tool right here, as I used my number one favorite tool, which will also help you to find studs or the most consistently performing players for the week, some of which you'll find on my blog on the fantasy football, wealthyfantasyfootball.com, and you can optimize it per position. You can make a perfect lineup, and so you can even browse your teams as far as what you're expecting, showing injuries, depth charts there as well, and all the things that we were considering there for this week, the wildcard week. So, of course, I'm considering these plays, and as you see some other ones, I'm just going to look through real quick to see if I like anyone else. On the same team, Austin Hooper is another good matchup as the Rams didn't do so well throughout the year versus the tight end. So that's another one right there, and you can look at. So hope all goes well for your wild card weekend if you're playing daily fantasy football, and have a great day.